I am one of about 30 nurseries that belong to a cooperative of nurseries that organise our own plant fairs. Today we've been talking about staging an exhibit for Chelsea. I'll photograph that. And
Also, just chip in that I usually hover in that area.
some of us, I think out of the 8 of us, 3 of us have exhibited before. Others have never exhibited ever before at a flower show, and some have got a bit of experience.
I haven't done any displays before. It'd be really exciting to put together the kind of plants that I grow well in my clay garden on a display at Chelsea. There's no end of things I've learned from my colleagues in the past on propagation or growing techniques, on composts, on pest control. It's almost like a support group in some respects.
Don't commute.
Does every variety of plant have?
Fantastic thing about the proposed exhibit under the Plant Fairs Roadshow team is that there are going to be 8 very different nurseries exhibiting what they are passionate about and also what they want to share with everybody.
There's a lot of experience there, and it does allow individuals to put a toe in the water as to and see if they like it.
You know, on paper we may look like competitors at a plant fair, but we're often recommending each other's plants, and we're often learning from the displays that my colleagues put together.
Just clean these up and then I'll take these out to the bin.
Everyone's a specialist in what they grow, and they only grow things that they love to grow. It's nice to feel almost part of a community. I think we do this more for the love of plants. I don't think any of us are ever going to be millionaires.
At least twice, if not three, on the clover grass all the way up the...
Think about it.
Yeah, we do a joint stand.
Allocated 2 metre square allocated to each nursery, but then we can take it in turns attending the stand, and as you might imagine, we've already got quite a number of applicants. Sharing the load amongst nurseries makes life so much easier.
What? A little bit daunted at one point because they were talking about some of the grading criteria and that kind of thing, but actually it is really useful to hear from them that you've got to try and please yourself in some respect, that you've got to try and create something that you're happy with. So I will be using the plants that I'm most experienced in growing, and I'll try and put those together in a way that stimulates me and the way that I'm used to growing them in the garden. You're going to
Cheers. Sorry. Well, thank you. Oh, bless you. This will be my probably 110th RHS show, and it will be my 4th Chelsea, I do believe.
Normally it's all individual nurseries competing against each other for business, whereas this time it's a collaboration of nurseries to come together, show off their best plants, and then encourage people to come to the plant fairs and get the best advice available.
Because we generally spend a lot of the year, every weekend, every Sunday, we go from plant fair to plant fair. It's like a bit like a social anyway, going to a plant fair, because we know each other and it's the same faces that crop up at each venue quite often. So we all know each other really and know our different personalities, so I think we were all prepared for what we were signing up for before we put our name down.
So the 3 of you, you've obviously done shows together before, but not together. So what will it be like working on a stand?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Won't be good at all. Steve talks too much.
I do talk too much.
Yeah. Lou does all the hard work, and I'll go off gossiping.
No, it's going to be fun. I mean, specialist nursery people all working together collaboratively. I've never done a collaboration with any other nurseries.
Borrow each other, bounce each other. When you're on your own, it's just another thing to get stressed over and sort out and bring up the packets and take the money in. And working together is always better than working apart. You can bounce ideas with each other, get help. Yeah. Someone needs to get a cup of coffee. It's all sorted.
Sometimes it can be a bit much, can't it? You know, Chelsea, you need to be able to de-stress occasionally. Run away for half an hour, have a cup of coffee, you know, because it feels like there's such a lot riding on shows.
It is very stressful.
Your heart might be set on using a plant, but if it's not quite up to spec, if what you're chasing is a medal, then you just have to leave it out. Only pick the plants which are looking the very best. Even if it's a plant you really want to show off to people and say how amazing it is, if it's not quite ready, you just got to Got to leave it out. Bump it for something else.
We
Promote that.
bring a trailer load of plants, and honestly, quite a lot of them go home again. They just come out for the day and then they go home.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's just got to look completely
Yeah, spot on.
in a way. To go back with this group makes it a whole different and wonderful shared experience. We share the load because it's quite a load to take on. We also share all the adulation, we share the rewards, and we share our whole entire love and passion for plants with anybody who comes to see the show. So that's very exciting, I think. I feel very, very upbeat about it.
I think there's going to be a lot of plant envy going on at Chelsea because there's going to be 8 nurseries. We're all going to be bringing out our best and greatest plants that we grow and that we adore and that we've spent a lot of time cosseting and growing and protecting. And then we're going to bring them out and we're going to show them off to each other first.
We arrive as friends and leave as enemies.
All these burning stands.
But I think it's back to that plant envy. We'll go away with as many plants as we've taken just because we've bought plants from each other, as often happens. But for me, to actually just be the challenge of growing things to their best possible peak performance just in time for a show, and then watching all of your friends who are also nurserymen doing the same thing.
And better.
It's going to be fun.
It's
Well,
depressing, really, isn't
normally
it?
better.
Yeah.
That's the trouble.
As a collective, and one of the great things, we've been going nearly 10 years, or over 10 years probably, is how supportive everybody is of each other. And I know that if I've got a particular problem with a particular plant, either to find it, someone will find it for me, or how to grow it, someone will advise me. I mean, we share almost our trade secrets with each other, and that's the great thing about it.
Well, maybe you can't.
Maybe you can't.
That's fine. About promoting Plant Fairs Roadshow.
But I will go away now and start to think about the flowering periods of plants and how to try and get their timings right and try and get a good mix, try and maybe get a colour theme going, try and think about the logistics of setting up the display. So it's given me loads of ideas.
8 of us are going to put our necks on the line and represent Plant Fair Roadshow at Chelsea next year.